the most wonderful time of the year. That's right, it's award season. In all honesty, I love award season.
You like me!
But something that I've realized over the years is just how many different award shows there are. I mean, of course, you got the big ones. You got the Academy Awards, the Emmys, the Golden Globes, the Tonys. You got the People's Choice Awards, the Actors Guild Awards, the Directors Guild Awards. And then, of course, don't forget the AARP Movies for Grownups Awards.
Hello, Grownups!
I love watching all of the acceptance speeches, right? Just seeing how emotional these people get, right? They put their heart and their soul into these parts. It's a big deal for them to win these awards.
Mom, I just want an Oscar!
But you can't just have a million awards sitting around, right? Especially if you have a really good performance one year where you just get to take home every different trophy. And so what do? Some of them end up in really weird places, according to some interviews that we see from different celebrities.
Oscar is in the bathroom. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't blame them for putting some of these things in storage and in bathrooms. For me, the awards that would be the most disappointing to put on a shelf and actually look at all the time are the ones that look like the award your dad might get at his job, for selling the most mattresses in a quarter. A lot of these, like the Producers Guild Award, are just kind of engravings on glass. You're going to find the same thing for the Cinema Audio Awards, the Dorian Awards, and the Artios Awards, which are given out by the Casting Society. The ICG Publicist Award at least isn't just flat, right? It's kind of circular. It looks kind of crystally, that's a bonus. And the Critics' Choice Award is in the shape of a star, so that's always nice. But it still looks like something that your mom might get after retiring from 20 years of service at her call center job. The Art Directors Guild kind of stepped it up a little bit, like that wood base on it, and there's some color in there, some gold on the inside of that transparent body. But honestly, I think that the AARP Movies for Grownups Award is probably the best version of this. Look at the gold plating. Look at the red accents. Top notch. There are a lot of other awards that look low effort. Like, for instance, I think that the American Film Institute Lifetime Achievement Award looks like something that you could be getting at like an awards night at your local high school. And though the theming for the Society of Camera Operators Awards is spot on, it still looks like something you could get at a local trophy shop. The American Society of Cinematographers, again, on point with the theming, but it still just looks like a little figurine that's been placed in resin. I know I'll probably get some flack for this one, but the Grammys are also ones that do not stand out for me. It's a music award. It looks like a record player. I guess it makes sense, but still, maybe we could try a little harder. But at least that one looks like something related to the awards. The Association of Motion Picture Sound Awards, I don't know, it looks like some kind of deformed ear, maybe if you squint. Otherwise, it's just like a weird rock with a hole in it. The American Cinematheque Award is kind of on the right path for being exciting, right? It looks like it could be film that's unraveling on this little pedestal, but it's so tiny compared to how big the base of it is. It looks like part of the trophy fell off or something. And don't even get me started on this version of the People's Choice Award. It literally looks like something a kid put together in their art class when they were just like not doing what they were supposed to be doing. The Tony Awards has like the floating medallion thing on it. Again, you can order this thing out of a catalog. And the Directors Guild of America Award just being this big gold coin, essentially, right? I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? It really seems like the people designing these things are obsessed with angelic figures, right? Sometimes we get just plain old wings by themselves, like with the GLAAD Awards. But then sometimes those wings are on birds, like with the Writers Guild Awards or the Film Independent Spirit Awards. The Emmys are guilty of this as well, right? She's got wings and very dangerous looking wings. I think the fact that if this thing falls off the shelf, it would crush a toddler, kind of make me not as much a fan of it as well. And then the HCA Film Awards is just like an Emmy with the different wing designs with the arms chopped off. But at least these things look fancy, right? They look like they are worth something. Some of these awards look like the little trinkets that you'd get at an Academy Awards party, right? If you were the person who guessed the most awards correct during the night. The Motion Picture Sound Editors Award definitely looks like something you could order 10 of on Amazon for $15. And as much as I love the scientific and technical Oscars design and everything, it still just looks like, the cheap version of it. Even the Academy Awards themselves, at this point to me, look like, just the knockoff. We've just seen them so many times and they hand out so many of them that it's like, I feel like I could stumble across one in a thrift shop. I know technically that's not supposed to be possible. The Academy will, take back the award if you don't want it, but I still think that there's enough out there that it could happen. Now, if you look at the Academy Awards and compare it to some of those other ones directly, like for instance the AACTA International Award, there's some similarities, right? This guy's got his arm stretched out, but it's kind of like a low-res version of the Oscar. And if you're going to have the low-res version, you got to have that like 8K version as well, and that's what you get with the Eddie Award. The American cinema editors were like, hey, that Oscar's neat and all, but we're just going to really kind of make it look a little fancier. And it's at this point that we kind of start to move into is just things I wouldn't want around the house because they honestly kind of creep me out. The Screen Actors Guild Award is obviously one that, for certain reasons, I personally wouldn't want in my kitchen. In fact, even just here in this video, I think we should probably throw up a censor bar on that thing just to be safe. But the creepy factor on that one pales in comparison to this one here, which ironically is for the Family Film and TV Awards. And now I know we're supposed to assume that this is, a mother, a father, and a child, but I get the sneaking suspicion that these bigger figures want to eat the little one. The Oliver Award, it's got some class to it, but there's something about this that makes me feel like, at midnight it's going to come alive and start talking to me. And then to top them all off, the one I definitely would not want in my house would be the BAFTA Award. I mean, you have this thing up in your house in the middle of the night, you're going to the bathroom, you catch it out of the corner of your eye, I'm having a heart attack, right? You got to put this thing in like a locked glass case, like the Annabelle doll. Now, I've dogged on a lot of awards and maybe not fairly on some of those, but that doesn't mean that I think all of these awards are not cool. There are definitely some that I would be like, yeah, I'd put that up in my house for sure. You got the Visual Effects Society's award here, which is obviously depicting that image from A Trip to the Moon. I like this one because it's got some film history that ties in directly to the type of award it is, right? With visual effects being a big part of that moment in history. I like the Golden Globe because it's, got a nice big handle on it, right? You can carry it around without having to feel like you're grabbing a dude in a way you might not want it to be. The Globe looks cool with the film stock going around it. It's a good one. It's classy. The Annie Awards that get handed out for voice acting are super cool too. It's depicting a zoetrope, which it was one of those first ways of having images be animated and everything, and which obviously ties into this ceremony and the group of people who are handing out this award. The Makeup Artists and Hairstylist Guild Award is also, I think, pretty cool. Again, film being a big part of it. It looks like she has clothes on, which I'm a fan of. And then speaking of clothes, the Costume Designers Guild Award is just clothes, right? Just a dress made, and it's all spirally and everything. There's some thought put into it, right? It's not just printing somebody's name on a piece of glass. The NAACP Image Award, I also am a fan of. I did at first, when I looked at this image, think that he was holding a disco ball. And that did make me a little less excited when I did realize it was a globe, and those are like the longitude and latitude lines on there, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still a cool image. And then the sci-fi fan in me that can't help but love the Saturn Award. I mean, look at it. It's like Saturn, the planet, but the ring is film stock. It's great. But if I honestly had to pick one award to put on my shelf, just one that I thought really depicted everything that is good about cinema and movies and acting and all of that stuff, what one would it be? Well, it's pretty obvious to me. It'd be the MTV Movie Award. Gotta love that golden popcorn.